Is it normal that my 12-year-old son is 6 feet 0? I'm 5 feet 2 and his dad is 5 feet 9. Is this normal? PSH. I'm bigger than that and way older. Your kid sucks. I was the same going into 7th grade. Thought I was gonna hit 7 feet lol. High school hit just grew 2 more inches and that was that. He's probably just getting his growth spurt early as heck. I'm 6 feet 7 now. About 1 in 200 humans is like this. There are medical conditions that cause abnormally large growth, but they typically come with other symptoms than just growing tall. Chances are his height is just normal for him, but it's something to be aware of. You have to consider the possibility that your boyfriend was cheating on you with a 7-foot tall woman and she's his real mother. Approximately 183 centimeters for the rest of the world. Edit. Whoa. People. Wasn't my intention to set straight the Americans. Let them be. My 2 cents or 1 inch. Whatever advice is to consult a pediatrician. It may be normal. It may not. Don't let Reddit decide. Sounds like NBA next. If your kid is athletic too, then every sports coach in your area will be begging him to join their teams. Maybe not totally normal but well within the scope of normal human. If your son is experiencing pain or anything like that, please see a doctor. I'm taller than both my parents. A kid I started high school with was 6 feet. Humans are a diverse bunch. Yeah, I feel like it is. Genes are a funny thing. Yes, it likely just means that he's getting better nutrition than you and your husband did at his age, along with some random genetic factors. I guess so. My 13-year-old grandson is 6 feet 3, wears a size 13.5 sneaker. My parents are 5 feet 5 and 5 feet 10. But my sister was 5 feet 10 by the time she was 12. My brother was 6 feet 3 in his first year of high school. I'm 5 feet 1 and I'm 19. Genetics are weird like that. My dad was like 5 feet 9 but I was 6 feet tall when I was 11. I took after my mother's side of the family and all my uncles and my maternal grandfather were all 6 foot or better. My mom was 6 feet 2 and towered over my dad, especially if she wore heels. My sister is easily taller than my parents, but she's in line with my grandparents' genes and she had better access to food growing up than my parents or I did when she was in the womb. Poverty. She also absorbed her twin lol. It wasn't normal in the past, but nowadays I feel like I see really tall Zoomers everywhere, lol. Ask his pediatrician. Random internet strangers can't tell if everything is okay or not, though it probably is. But it doesn't hurt to ask. Lol, I read it as, is it normal that my 12-year-old son is 60? It's not normal, but there are many cases of kids growing bigger than their parents at a young age. Perhaps get him checked out to see if his bones are growing properly. Tough, I'm unsure if it's needed. I was 6 feet at 12, I am 6 cubic feet now. Put his ass on the court now. I was 5'10" when I was 13 years old. Now I'm 25 and still 5'10". Maybe he got switched in the hospital. I guarantee his dad has already thought this and made peace with it in his head. When are you going to own up and tell him? I'm 18 and 5 feet 6, my dad 5 feet 5 and my mom 4 feet 8. Yes, that happens. Genetics isn't just me, it's a whole mess of people. Not normal. But it happens. I'm 6 feet 6. At 12 I was around 6 feet 2 and stopped growing around 14-ish. I think I was around 5 feet 10 by 10. Parents are around 6 feet 1 and 5 feet 9. That being said, get him a buttload of calcium supplements. Sports drinks with electrolytes and vitamin D. Those leg pains were freaking brutal. Get him lifting weights if you want to stunt his growth. Probably normal. But there's also genetic disorders that will make a person unusually tall, such as EDS, Marfan, etc. So just watch for some unusual physical features just in case. I was the same way. 6 feet 0 at 12 but only shot up to 6 feet 4 by the time I was 18. Parents are 5 feet 4 and 5 feet 11. Genetics are just funky sometimes. Curious, how old was he when he became the same height taller than you and his dad? Time for DNA test. Biggest contributor to adult height is dietary health from birth to 4 years old. So you did something right. Absolutely. I remember when I was 12 being extremely weirded out by the 6 feet 2 kid in my class that looked like he was in HS. I ignored that feeling and we nice to the guy. We never were really friends. But we had an amicable, friendly relationship of acquaintances. If there's any issues with his peers not understanding, I'd talk to him and see if he was comfortable with you and him addressing the class to explain that he might be a little taller than the rest, but he's still their peer and they'll soon all catch up. I had Tourette's and my peers really understood and were cool with it when my mother did that with me. Are we sure his dad is 5 feet 9, or is your son among the 30 that are being raised by a man who thinks he is his father but not? How tall's the milkman? Yeah, that seems normal. Kids are usually taller than their parents, although it sounds like he's had a slightly early growth spurt. He's definitely tall but not problematically so. It's a good thing. Don't worry about it. It's normal, just uncommon. I was 6,100 kilograms in year 7. I only grew 3 more inches after that, lol. It's not normal unless he's Dutch. It's normal. I was 5 feet 9 when I was 12. Is he Numenorian? No. He probably suffers from gigantism, a serious medical condition that severely shortens lifespan due to heart issues caused by supporting such a massive body. On the upside, he could have a fantastic acting career as an action supervillain. What 6 feet 0? Biscuits. Better start prepping him for the NBA draft. It happens. Genetics is all about potential. I was taller than both my parents by 13. I had 2 friends that are 6 feet 10 and 7 feet 2 with parents and a sibling that were all 5 feet 6. Don't think I was far off at 12. My dad was 6'6" IWAS 6'5" at 15 and finished 6 feet 7, being tall and well built. I'm female, but when I was 10-12 I was already 6 ft. I'm 6 feet 2 feet now at 25. Edit, both my parents are shorter than 5 feet 7. Make sure he takes care of his back spine. Obviously not. The average height of a 12-year-old boy is under 5 feet. In where I live, first-year middle school kids 7th grade 12 are commonly 165 centimeters for girls and 170 centimeters for boys, with 175 centimeters girls and 185 centimeters boys not being exceptional. My wife teaches English in a middle school, and she says their pupils are commonly taller than teachers. Bear in mind that she is quite tall too, at 170 centimeters. Kids develop earlier and taller these days. My little sister began having period at the age of 9.5. And she is now 165 centimeters at 11 and keeps growing. The son of a friend of mine is wearing size 44 EU, 10.5 US shoes and is almost 180 centimeters tall. He complains being dwarfed and bullied at basketball matches in PE. How tall is your postman?